also the instructor Delonte definitely makes sure that any questions that you have does not go unanswered. Very genuine, very transparent, and really loves what he does. And that's one thing that I look for in a mentor.
This broadcast is brought to you by Bold People Get Rich. For more investing knowledge, be sure to visit www.bpgrinc.com.
Now sharing what he's learned with others by hosting courses on investment strategies.
To be able to pass that knowledge on to other people, it makes me feel like, I'm doing something that's valuable in life. This broadcast is brought to you by Bold People Get Rich. For more investing knowledge, be sure to visit www.bpgrinc.com.
First thing I want to let y'all know is you can start a trading account with as little as $10, all right? And if you're not greedy and trying to get into this and try to make a whole bunch of money really fast, you would understand that even getting into it with $10, maybe you may not make a lot of money, but you can begin to learn the markets with some skin in the game.
This broadcast is brought to you by Bold People Get Rich. For more investing knowledge, be sure to visit www.bpgrinc.com.
But what this lesson is about is, like I said, for the working person. You do not have to be in front of the computer to actually participate in the foreign exchange market. Did y'all know that? Did you know you don't have to actually press buttons to participate in the foreign exchange market? You don't always have to be in front of the screen.
This broadcast is brought to you by Bold People Get Rich. For more investing knowledge, be sure to visit www.bpgrinc.com.
Welcome to Markup Mondays, where every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we analyze the financial markets, educate the community on trading and investing, discuss world news and popular topics. I'm your host, Delonte Brady, Chief Analyst and six-figure earner with Bold People Get Rich, and here are some things you need to know about this broadcast. During the market analysis portion of this call, we often find areas in the market to trade or make our investments. To be updated on these entries, exits, and trade management, make sure you tap the 3 dots on my Facebook page and change following to favorites. This way, you'll never miss an update. To receive investment knowledge, exclusive deals, and updates, click the link tree in my bio and subscribe to our mailing list. If you're viewing this broadcast on YouTube, to be kept up to date, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. This is an event made for the people, by the people, and we love to hear your feedback and answer your questions during the show. So please feel free to comment as often as you like. Lastly, all forms of investing do involve risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Increasing leverage increases risk. Before deciding to trade in any financial market, you should carefully consider your financial objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. Any opinion, news, research, analysis, price valuation, or other information contained in this video does not constitute investment advice. No person or persons in this video is a financial advisor. Welcome to Markup Mondays. What's going on, everybody? Go ahead and drop where you calling in from in the comments. And drop a 1 in the chat. I want to see who all's on the call. Drop a 1 in the chat if you did not get stuck in the snow today. Drop a 2 in the chat if you got stuck in the snow today. Snow was crazy today. Snow was crazy. And I might be wrong, but I believe it's supposed to continue snowing for the next 2 days. Right? So oh man, all right, so Rachel didn't get stuck, Denver didn't get stuck. We did have, okay, JB got stuck. Devon got stuck. Man, so how did y'all end up getting out? Did somebody come help y'all, or did y'all have to shovel y'all way out? Yeah, it's like crazy out there. Does anybody know if this snow is supposed to let up anytime soon? Me's got stuck as well. Man, good energy go out to everybody who got stuck, because I know that's it's not a fun position to be in. For anybody that's driving to work, a tip, if you don't already know, keep a shovel in your trunk or your back seat. Keep a shovel with you, because you never know when you're gonna have to hop out and shovel yourself out of getting stuck. 'Cause sometimes that's all it takes is a shovel to chip away the ice in front of the tire or just shovel away some snow. So my advice to you is keep a shovel. I know y'all probably looking at me like, what do I know about that? I done got stuck in the snow plenty of times. I done helped a lot of people, complete strangers, get unstuck from the snow. Anybody out there, we still got, some chivalry out there. Any men out there who, hop out and help random people when they see them stuck, or y'all just keep it moving? My dad taught me, he showed me by example. We would be riding through the neighborhood and people would be stuck and we would just hop out, and help them, and I always carried that with me. So if I was ever out in the street and I see a random person stuck, if I have time, I'll hop out, and help. Javon said I had to help someone, then they returned the favor. Look at that. That's beautiful. Yep. Larry said you got some bass in your voice tonight. Hold on, what that mean, man? We gonna have to talk on a personal level. Larry talking about I got some bass in my voice tonight. Me said a neighbor helped me this morning, then I helped someone else. That's dope, man. That's a beautiful thing. Helping people get unstuck, from the snow. Random people. It's kind of like one of those moments where, I don't know, I feel like we're closer to being human than we normally are, with us being so caught up in social media and how desensitized, things have made us. That's one of those moments where for a second or for those moments we're actually being human and, doing what humans are supposed to do. But I'm not going to keep rambling. Let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing y'all already know, we always go over the news. So let's go ahead and check out what we got for the upcoming week. The markets are finally moving. Go ahead and share the screen. All right, can everybody see my screen? Can everybody see my FX book? We're gonna try this again. All right, here we go. Now y'all should be able to see it. Now we should be good. All right, so for the upcoming week, for the euro and the United States dollar, I only have red folders. Filtered. So for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, actually not a lot going on this week with red folders. So Tuesday, we have the economic sentiment with the euro. That's going to be at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's a red folder. So probably the move that I'm going to call out tonight is probably going to happen around that time. The entry might take place around that time. If it does, that'd be perfect. For Wednesday, we have euro USD. We have euro and USD. So euro at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then at 8:30 in the morning, housing starts, and then building permits. Those are red folders, so expect volatility in the market. Thursday, all American news, all right, all United States dollar news from 8:30 to 10 o'clock. We got red folders, we got jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, initial jobless claims, existing home sales, and that is it. All right, so not too much going on this week as far as news goes. Probably won't be choppy waters this week, so looking forward to that. And now let's go ahead and get into EU. And if you have any pairs you want me to look at and go over, go ahead and drop that in the chat, and if we have time, we'll get to it. All right, so let's go ahead and look at EU. Remember, I told you guys last week we were in a no trade zone. We have been in a no trade zone since the end of November, and we finally got that breakout last week. And so it's really giving us like a break and retest type of scenario. You got your consolidation. Let me point this out. You got your consolidation, and then you got your breakout. You see a candle broke out here. We feel some imbalance in, and we came up to a suspected sell zone. All right, so we have been looking at this area for about 2 to 3 weeks. We came up to that area, and we did end up selling off. We caught a sell from that area, had a sell limit go off, and we actually caught a sell last week off of that. Now, as far as what I believe is going to do next, have some zones on the lower time frame, but as always, from the higher time frame, we always have to keep in mind what's going on from the higher time frame, and we can't forget that this is distributed. All right, so even though we did have even though we let me add this to the stream. Sorry about that, y'all. All right, can everybody see my screen now? All right, we should be good to go now. Sorry about that. So what I was saying with EU, we had this breakout, we had the consolidation, and we had this candle bust out of the top of the consolidation, fill the imbalance, and we came up to this sell zone that we have been calling for 2 to 3 weeks. All right, so we caught that sell, it's selling off, and from the higher time frame, I believe this was the high, this was the low. And what's happening right now is a pullback. So if this is the high and this is the low, what did we pull back to? Let's go ahead and zoom in on that. We went past the 50% and came really close to the 618. All right, so there's a good chance that we're reacting from these levels right now, and we're going to start selling off. So my directional bias for tonight, as far as the trade that I'm looking for, is a sell. All right, so I'm bearish on Euro USD based off of higher time frame premise, and we have the fib. We pulled the fib from the high to the low, and it looks like we've retraced in between 50% to 61.8%. So let's go ahead and drop down to the lower time frames and see exactly where we would be getting in at and where we could possibly be taking a buy from if it comes down there. So let's go ahead and drop down to the hour. right? So we're starting to create a range right here. And I really like to see, this happen below areas that I want to sell from. All right, let me double check to make sure everything is good. All right. Before I continue, are we good? Everybody can see my screen, right? Y'all can see me and y'all can see my screen. If somebody could let me know in the chat. Okay. All right, good to go. All right, so I like to see these ranges form below areas that I want to get in for entries. And so I'm looking at this high right here. Got a high that's resting right below a suspected sell zone. And I'm expecting this high to get taken out. And I would like to enter in for a sell here. All right, we got an old Asian range. All right, we had the market run up. And it was at this point that we broke structure. Right, we ran up and then we broke all of this structure that we had. We had some lows here, busted down below it, pulled back, came down, and then we're currently reacting off of the second buy zone. Right, so first sell zone is going to be here. Right, so I'll be setting my sell limit tonight before I go to bed around price level. So let's say 1.14380. And 1.144, let's say 30. All right, so somewhere in between those prices, I'm going to go ahead and set a sell limit. And if that trade fails, I will take a second sell, and this will be my last sell at this sell zone. All right, so that's around price level 1.14625 and then 1.14680. Now, if we break above this sell zone and we start breaking these highs, then we have to divert our attention to upside targets, all right? Because we have a second sell zone up here, which would be around 70%, 70 to 80% of the fib or the pullback. All right, we do have some imbalance over here that still needs to be filled, that got left behind. And so it would be at this point, if we do come up to this area, we break above this high, then we would be waiting for a sell or looking for a buy, depending on what forms on the lower time frames. Now, as far as buying scenarios, if this sell does happen, once we break down, I would be expecting a reaction off this mitigation area, and I would take my first buy from this area here. Second buy would be here below the lows. All right, because this is where they really started to take off, and this is where this is the origin of the breakout of consolidation. It happened in this area here. All right, so I believe that this is going to be a very sensitive area. We got some lows over here, and we have some imbalance to fill under that. And so I will be looking for a buy area here and here. Anybody got any questions on EU? Let's see. All right, Ebony wants me to look at the pound versus the US dollar. Let's do it. Keep in mind, I'm not taking into account any news. All right, so you got to do that. Got to definitely do that on your own. Check the news and make sure you understand what's going on. All right, so we are currently reacting from this level here. Looks like last week we came up, fill some of this imbalance that got left behind. And the momentum that it rejected with, I'm really expecting GU to sell off. I'm not expecting it to come back up above this high. I'm actually expecting it to pull back, some more. So same thing that I'm looking for on EU, I will be looking for sales on GU. Now, where we would be selling from, first sell area, I really like this. I like this level right here. All right. And I also like this level right here. Now let's go ahead and drop down to the lower time frames and see what that's looking like. Currently buying from here. Yeah. Yep. So first sell zone would be here. In between price level, let's say 1.36700 and 1.36800. So a total of 10 pips. All right, we got a range of 10 pips as far as the first sell zone. And then the second sell zone would be above this high. These highs, right? And that sell zone would be in between 1.37000 and 1.37090. As far as a buy, it's currently buying from a level already, but I would expect a reaction from this area. Go out to the 4 hour and check out, see what that looks like. Yeah, I would be expecting a reaction between price level 1.36115 and 1.35970. All right, so short term, that's what I got for GU. As far as the action, what should happen within the next, a couple of days, these are the levels. All right, Dame want me to check out gold. Let's head over to gold and see what gold is doing. All right, so it looks like it's currently in consolidation right now. This area right here has been consolidating, really ranging in between this zone. So when I see consolidation, got to treat it like consolidation. And this is 4 hour consolidation. And I really don't know which way gold is going to go. Now, I know EU and gold usually follows each other. So we would be thinking, bearish, but the way that this is lining up, Dame, you already know gold is volatile, it's funny acting, and it doesn't always follow EU, exactly. EU could be going down temporarily and gold could be going up. So with these highs resting up here, I really don't see them leaving. I don't really see them leaving these highs before taking off, before going down. So I'm actually expecting gold to push up. The way that this is looking, I'm expecting gold to push up. Next reaction zone would be down here, somewhere in this area. Pretty sure we can get more specific if we drop down to lower time frames. This is already reacting. Let me look at it on the 1 hour. Yeah, with it consolidating, man, it's really no telling. But the way that they're setting up above this buy zone here, I see a nice opportunity for a reaction, a reaction buy. I wouldn't be looking to hold anything. And then if we get a sweep above these highs, then a sell. really would be waiting for it to come up here for the sell. Right, second buy zone. First buy zone, second buy zone. Each one would be a reaction type of trade. And then for the sell, I want to see these highs get swept, and I want it to come up into this area here. So I got for gold. All right, let's go ahead and look at AUD USD for Denver. Let's look at this from the higher time frame. Same thing as EU. It's been distributing, keep creating lower lows, lower highs. Structure here. Okay, yeah. So I believe AUD USD is selling from this area here. All right, this is the last known reaction. We're on the daily. See, we got this high right here. And so that's the range that we're working within right now. You got your high, and then you got your lowest point that got created here. So I'm gonna be looking for a sell somewhere in between this area right here. And I would be targeting this low right here. All right, so we're working in between here and here. All right, see my sell area. All right, so we got our first sell zone on AUD USD. We would be targeting this low, and we would also be targeting this low. And this is just on the 4 hour. Go ahead and drop down to the hour. See the same thing. I like this area as a sell zone too, but I would wait for this sell zone up here. I would rather sell from up here than try to take this one, but it's a chance it could react off of here. If it does, look for another setup. Once it breaks this low down here, look for some sort of pullback, because I do believe if we start selling from here or up here, then we're going to be going for these lows down here. As far as a buy, the next buy reaction would be I see buy reactions. Here. All right, so yeah, I would be expecting some rejection here in this green zone, but I still would expect it to push down to this low. Could be an opportunity to buy here, but only for a reaction. Imbalance here. And yeah, that's what I got for AUD USD. Pretty much the same thing as EU. I'm looking for those sales. First sell zone between price level 0.72630 and 0.72790. This sell zone, the first one or the lower one, is 0.72350 and 0.72450. Buy zone, but remember, just a reaction, because because we would be selling from up here. So if you were to take a buy from here, it should only be for an in and out type of trade. But 0.71830 and 0.71620. USD. Boom. All right. No problem, Ebony. No problem, Denver. All right. And last but not least, let's go ahead and look at UCAD, and then we'll get into the news brief for the week. All right. So UCAD, the opposite of EU, we got the dollar leading. So if I'm expecting EU to go down, then I would be expecting UCAD to head up fundamentally. But it looks like UCAD is also bearish. We did come down to this buy zone and we got a small reaction, but now it's starting to push down. So with UCAD, because it is the US dollar leading and where UCAD is currently sitting at, I would want to see this low here get protected. All right, so I want to see some resistance. I want to see it hang out above this line, and then I want to see it start to, move up, start to push up and go bullish. So I would be waiting on UCAD because I don't see anything clear. It could start buying, it could start selling based on where it's at right now. So what I would do is wait for more information, wait for some structure to start to form, and see. Yeah, I would be looking for that to start buying, to pull back more. And then of course, you're gonna have your reactions on the way up, right? Wherever we bought from or wherever area we had reactions, more than likely you're gonna get that same reaction on the opposite side. So if it was buying from there, if we're coming up to an old buy zone, well, now we can treat this like an old sell zone, right? If we pull the fib out, pull from the high to the low, that would be around the golden pocket. So in between 70 and 80%. You got your 618 here, right here at this low. And then you got your 50% line, which we already got some reaction off of, it looks like. So wouldn't play this. I will wait for it to come up, and either that 618 or the golden pocket of the fib is where I would be expecting a reaction. And then from there, I would, like I said, I would want to see it hang out above this level. And if it shows strong support, then I see UCAD starting to buy again, back up to the top. Just for the simple fact that I see the US dollar getting temporarily bullish. All right, so that is it for the foreign exchange market. Now let's go ahead and get into the topic of the day. I spent a majority of the day preparing this for y'all. As always, I hope y'all get value. Feel free to comment. Some of these things we are going to talk about after the video. So hang around, all right? No problem, man, no problem. Early January 2022, the U.S. Mint began shipping quarters that features Maya Angelou on one side of the quarter. Maya Angelou was a well-known writer and civil rights activist and loved by many. She is the first African-American woman to be featured on the United States quarter. This feat is looked at as an accomplishment and a huge step forward for some, but offensive to others. Some people believe that it is a slap in the face to put a woman of such nobleness and honor on the opposite side of George Washington, who was actually a slave owner. I guess perception really is everything. We love to hear your thoughts on this topic in the comments below. In this edition of Gangsters in Suits, OSHA's vaccine mandate has been blocked by the U.S. Supreme Court, and just in case you don't know who or what OSHA is, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration was created by Congress back in 1970.
They were to ensure safe and healthy working conditions for workers by setting and enforcing standards and providing training, outreach, education, and assistance. OSHA, working within what it believed to be its duties, thought it was a good idea to enforce a mandate on all companies that had over 100 employees. This mandate required that the employer require its employees to be vaccinated, become subject to weekly testing, or face termination. Any employer who failed to enforce this mandate would face citations from OSHA. The mandate was scheduled to start being enforced in early February of this year, an event that really would have had a lot of workers more stressed out than they already are. But on January 13th, the Supreme Court blocked the OSHA mandate, and 6 of the court's 9 judges determined that the attempt by OSHA to regulate general matters of public health as opposed to occupational hazards was an overstep of its authority. For now, workers are free to continue working without having a vaccine or having to have a swab stuck up their nose every week. But the assault on basic human rights isn't over. The mandate is now in litigation where there will more than likely be another vote. And you know, when a certain level of politics doesn't get what they want, they just get what they want. So I'll keep you up to date on the outcome of that situation. In another edition of Gangsters in Suits, Bank of America is slashing its overdraft fees. CNBC reports the bank will drop its $35 fees to $10 starting in May, and will also get rid of non-sufficient fund fees completely in February. A genius move on Bank of America's part, as this lowered fee will attract more customers, most likely to accrue overdraft fees. In 2021, Americans paid over $12 billion in fees due to overdrafts and bounced checks. Bank of America hasn't released the statistics on how much this will increase or decrease quarterly revenue. Now, this next update is a more serious one. Prince Harry, one of 2 brothers who survives the late Princess Diana, is the Duke of Sussex and a royal member of the royal British family. Out of the 2 brothers, William was the typical by-the-books royal, but Harry, on the other hand, is the black sheep of the family, who, like his mother, is loved by the people and is known for having style. A little too much style for being a prince of royal and pure blood. See, back in 2016, Prince Harry started dating an African-American actress named Meghan Markle. Here you see her pictured with her mother and her father. After dating for a year, they announced their engagement in 2017, and they officially tied the knot in 2018. Harry and Meghan have been married for over 3 years now and have 2 children, little Archie and Lilibet. Now here's where things get interesting. MSN reported on January 17, 2022, Harry does not feel safe in his UK homeland and has threatened legal action against his family if they don't get the security they need while traveling there. Him, his wife, Meghan, and their children have been subjected to well-documented neo-Nazi and extremist threats. The royal British family has denied assisting Harry with security in this matter and even denied his proposal to pay for security with his own funds. What no one is talking about is why he and his family are being denied protection. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get Princess Diana vibes all over again. What makes this situation so paramount is what no one wants this situation to be about, and that is race. If Prince Harry, a royal member of the royal British family, 6th in line for succession to the throne, and his wife, Meghan, also a royal member of the royal British family, or their 2 children are harmed or worse, will send another clear message to all black communities around the world, and more than likely will further heighten racial tensions. All right, so that is the weekly news brief. I did to me that was a serious one. That's like a issue or a topic that I wanted to talk about, and I'm not sure if any of you were aware that Prince Harry and his family was even, going through that. But when I learned about it, I just thought it was crazy, because you got somebody who's considered royalty, who should be protected at all costs, according to their standards of being royalty. That's almost like the president of the United States being out here without protection. But the reason why he doesn't have protection is because his wife, is not a pure blood and has some black in her. Right? Did anybody know that was going on? Did anybody know that situation was going on over there with the royal family? And I know I'm not big on, on news as far as like reporting on Anglo-Saxons and studying Anglo-Saxons, but anytime it involves, something like that where you have a family discriminating against its own family, like willing to allow their own Queen Elizabeth and Prince Charles, like they're willing to allow their blood to be in danger, like seriously be assassinated or possibly killed, or his kids, whatever, for the simple fact that his wife has black in her, which is crazy. Did anybody on this call remember Princess Diana? Does anybody remember when she passed away and how that affected people around the world? If you were born in between 1975, right, 1975 and like 1990, 89, then more than likely you remember Princess Diana. But for whatever reason, Princess Diana's death like really shook the world. It had a lot of people hurt behind it. And so Prince Harry is kind of like that same type of martyr, right? And it was a lot of suspicion behind her death because she had divorced her husband, Charles, Prince Charles, and a year later she ended up getting in this freak crazy accident, right? But what a lot of people don't know is that leading up to that car accident, she was actually trying to distance herself from the royal British family because they were providing her protection, but she wasn't allowed to leave the country. Like she just wanted to go on a vacation and take her sons with her, and they was like, "Oh, we can't allow that. Like you got the princess." Right? It's almost like a blood in, blood out type deal. Like if you a part of the family, you got kids with one of the princes, you can't go nowhere. We don't care if you don't want to be with the prince, but you can't go nowhere if you got custody of the kids. And she ended up, like I said, getting killed. They said it was because they were fleeing from paparazzi, but it happened in a bridge, in a tunnel. So I just thought that was crazy. The British royal family, they don't really have the cleanest history, and I kind of just foresee something bad possibly happening to Harry and his family, based on race. So I remember a story, but never really understood the outrage. Yeah, I mean, you can look her up. You can look it up and see, the things that she did. But she was just one of those people who was loved by a lot of people around the world for whatever reason. The next thing I wanted to talk to y'all about and really get y'all opinion on is, how do y'all feel about the Maya Angelou situation? Maya Angelou is the first black woman to be placed on, the U.S. quarter. And like I was saying, for some people, that's like, a step forward, a step in the right direction. Like that's something to be proud of. That's an accomplishment. And then there's some people like, it's tokenism. It's really a disgrace. And really, like, it doesn't make sense to have somebody who has so much to do with the civil rights movement and the freedom of people, rights of black people, to be on the other side of a quarter opposite of George Washington, who was obviously a slave owner. JB said it doesn't involve reparations. I feel you. Anybody else got thoughts on that? All right, so Sydney said, let me put this up here. Sydney says, I think that is stupid. I will have to put a Bible verse like John 4:16 on that coin, 14:6 on that coin. Y'all look that up. John 14:6. Somebody quote that. Is it anybody on the call that's like for the quarter being on there? Like you were proud when you seen it on there? It's pretty much everybody like, I ain't messing with it. They ain't pulling no wool over my eyes. Sydney said the elite's not playing. You mean as far as the Prince Harry situation? Larry said, just as crazy as Harriet being on currency. And Jarvis said it's disrespectful. JB said, pay what you owe us. We built this joint for free. Reparations. You know, if that day ever comes, if the day of reparations ever come, I pray that, you know, most of the Black community is educated on finances and is financially literate and able to handle what's on the way. Because I feel like if they were to give all of the Black community $100,000 right now a piece, and they called that reparations, even though I know they owe way more than that. But say they gave, you know, each Black person in the community, every single person, $100,000. How long would it be before it was circulated out of our neighborhood and right back in the hands of the people that gave it to us? How long would that be? If we got reparations right now, right? I don't think we're prepared for reparations. Like if they gave it to us right now, it would be bad timing. Right now, you know, we're becoming more aware. A lot more people are, you know, talking about the importance of financial literacy and teaching it, but we aren't there yet. We aren't there yet. Larry said, Hellcats and Cadillacs for everybody. All right, so back on the Harriet Tubman situation real quick. He said that Javon said, at first I thought it was cool until you stated George Washington was on the other side. He's a slave owner, but I think it's positive and negative in a way. Okay. Let's see. Because otherwise you get it right. Damon says right, because otherwise they just get it right back. Sydney said, we're going to give it right back to them in the form of clothes, jewelries, and cars. Yep. Dang, so you don't even give it 6 days, huh, Larry? You give it 3 days. Our money circulating in the Black community. Me said 2 years tops. Christine said in a month. Right. Yeah. Things that we need to talk about, right? Things that we need to think about as well. Let's get ready for reparations, because it's a possibility that, you know, they could be on the way, that we could see them in our lifetime. But like I said, I just hope we're ready for it if it does happen. Sydney talking about we're going to tear Miami down. Larry said, you know, most folks get paid on Friday, broke by Monday. Unfortunately, man, victims of the system. I know not everybody, you know, not everybody mismanages their money. It is people out here who really live check to check and budget their money good. It's just the way the cookie crumble, way the cars are set up. But I think most people are mismanaging their money for sure, or just illiterate or ignorant to actually how to, you know, keep it, or not emotionally mature enough to, you know, be able to budget money. But y'all, that wraps it up for Markup Mondays. I hope y'all got value out of this call. Every pair that I went over tonight too, I'm about to post those pairs on my Facebook. So those markups that I created, I'm gonna go ahead and post those on the Facebook. So everybody who requested that I look at a pair, y'all can go ahead, come to my page, save it, and be able to look at it. So I'm gonna make sure I make that public. Be on the lookout for that. After this call post, I'll go ahead and post those markups. For everybody in the Sniper Gang and the Basics chat, I will see y'all in the chats on the charts. And remember to always stay safe, but stay dangerous. Peace. See y'all next Monday.